I have Roger Martin sitting with me.
And I have Jenny Carver sitting with me, which is great.
Right. And we're going to talk about specifically electrifying everything and what us as consumers and citizens can do to move us forward, move the dial forward on our emissions.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of it, like where technology is ready for us to do those things. So talk a little bit about what are those things that are available to us to make that difference.
Right. For many of us, the two biggest sources of our emissions are home heating and personal transportation. And in both of those cases, there is technology available with which we can radically reduce those emissions. In both cases, it's by using grid electricity rather than fossil fuels to heat our homes and to run our vehicles. So fortunately, the Ontario grid that we're plugged into is quite clean. It has low carbon emissions because the energy comes from low carbon sources, hydro and nuclear and some wind and solar. And so because the emissions, if you combine the low emissions of the Ontario grid and the fact that in case of heat pumps and electric vehicles, the energy efficiency is 3 times higher
Than more traditional combustion and oil gas.
A heat pump is 3 times more energy efficient than a natural gas furnace. An EV is 3 times more efficient than an internal combustion engine.
And when you say efficient, you mean efficient from the perspective of energy used.
Energy
Consumed.
Converted from the raw energy into usable energy. So in the case of the heat pump, from the energy source into heat for your house. A heat
is
pump
3 times as efficient as an oil furnace or a gas furnace.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And in your car, the electric motor in your car is 3 times more efficient than an internal combustion engine. And therefore, if you combine those efficiencies with the low carbon emissions from the Ontario grid, you get over 90% reduction in both cases, which is a nice,
it's a big
large
deal.
reduction,
That's a big deal.
Low hanging fruit in these areas.
Right. So when you think about the impact that each of us can make and that we could make collectively in Georgian Bluffs, let's say, it's quite empowering. Empowering on the grid to be able to electrify can empower us actually to do something fairly major for our community emissions.
I think so. Yes.
I think it's beyond. I think so.
Okay. All right. Well,
you've done some of the number crunching. I know you have.
Yes. Yeah. So definitely, but in these two cases, you can get dramatic reductions in emissions, which is what we're all after. And not all reductions are so straightforward. These
two are good ones. We have the technology.
Ones. Yes.
And if we adopt that technology, each of us can make a difference.
Yes.
Of a significant difference. There was a 90% decrease in emissions that you spoke about.
Yes.
So for both of those uses, home heating and vehicles, electric vehicles, we can reduce our emissions by 90%.
Yes.
That is such a big deal.
Indeed.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.